Hi everyone, I hope you're doing okay. I've had lots of questions by email and via Teams about your remote learning at secondary. So I've made this video that I hope will answer the most commonly asked questions that I'm getting, which are on the screen now. I'm going to email this to you, and attached to that will be this PowerPoint so you can look at it on your own, and I'm also emailing it to your parents, and I think it'd be really good if you watched it together so you understood our expectations and know what to do if you've got any problems at all. So these are the questions that I'm getting quite a lot. How will my work be set? How should I organise my day? How will my work be marked? How will I get feedback on my work? What should I do if the work is too much, too little, too hard, too easy? What should I do if I don't have access to a device or internet? What should I do if I'm worried or concerned about anything? When you'll be coming back to school, and when you do come back to school, if you will have to be tested for COVID. So I am planning to give you the answers to these questions in this video. So the first question that I'm getting is how your work will be set, and you should be quite used to this because it's very similar to how we set your work in the last lockdown. So you will get your work daily. It'll arrive by 9 o'clock in the morning, and it will either come by email or via Teams. You'll be given clear instructions and explanations of the tasks you need to do. You'll be told the tasks you need to complete, and you'll be told how to submit your work. Often this will be a pre-recorded lesson because we know that many of you are sharing devices with brothers, sisters or parents. And also that with pre-recorded lessons, it means that you can work at your own pace. Occasionally your teachers might organise a live session, and if this is the case, you get an invite that looks like this over here, probably via email, and all you need to do is click on that join link at the time of the lesson. We know that lots of you have difficulty accessing live lessons, so we will record them. Don't worry if you can't join in. And we also know that particularly the older students are quite shy about putting on their cameras, particularly if they've still got bed hair and are in their pyjamas. That's fine, you do not have to put on your video, but you can if you want to, and your teachers will explain that in the session. We also know that the most important thing in terms of you progressing with your learning is about the quality of the explanation and tasks. It's about the amount of effort you put into those tasks, and then the quality of the feedback that you get. It is not about how they are delivered. So whether it's live or pre-recorded, it's really important that you complete the tasks to the best of your ability and that you hand them in so we can have a look at them. The next question is about how you should organise your day. So you've been sent your timetables, and in Key Stage 3 you have 4 lessons a day, and each of those lessons should last about an hour and a quarter. In school we're working to the timetable you can see on the right. You might want to use that timetable at home. We know that routine is really helpful, so if this one doesn't suit you, try and make one up for yourself and stick to it. That's really important. You're going to be emailed a weekly PE lesson, but you could use that time for your daily exercise by going for a walk or a cycle ride, or maybe logging into Joe Wick's online session. That's up to you, but we know that that's really important and you should be exercising every single day, but there is time on your timetable on Monday to make sure you do that. In Key Stage 4, you're keeping to your normal timetable, so that is 5 hourly lessons a day. So again, you need to organise your time. I would try and keep to the normal school times if you can, because that routine is really helpful and important. The next question is how your work will be marked. So that very much depends upon the task that you've been set. So you'll submit your work in a variety of ways. Sometimes you might be asked to do an online quiz, and those results will automatically be sent to your teacher. You might use an online app like Vocab Express, or here's one from Hegarty Maths, which gives us quite detailed information about the task that you've done so that we can mark it. It might be that you have to submit an online via Teams, like down here, an online document which you are working on and then you submit in the normal way on Teams. It might be some of you might do the work on paper and send us a picture of the work that we can look through. Your teacher will mark the work to see how you're getting on, to check you're completing the tasks, and also to identify any common misconceptions, any questions that a lot of children are struggling with. Your teachers are going to use this information to plan your future lessons, most importantly. But please remember that most of your teachers are going to be receiving work from over 100 pupils. Some poor souls like Mr. Baxter, it's well over 300 pupils that he's receiving. It's really helpful for us if you hand your work in on time and in the way that we've asked, because it really helps us to plan your feedback and to plan your next lessons. The next question is how you will get feedback on the work once we have marked it. So there's a variety of ways that teachers might do this. They might give you quick one-to-one feedback if you've got an instant question, and that might be via email or via Teams. More often it will be whole group feedback. That might be a video going through a particular question that lots of you asked about. It might be in the form of whole class feedback, where maybe we show you a model of some great work that somebody's done so you can see what it needs to look like. They might organise a live feedback session for you to quickly go through something with you as a class. They might send you some detailed solutions that aren't videoed but just a picture of them so that you can look at those and use those to help you with marking your work. So that's how your teachers will give you feedback. Please remember that on some days your teachers will be in school delivering lessons to the students who are coming in. So the feedback might not be instantaneous. Just be patient and don't worry if you're stuck with something, just go on to another lesson. So the next few questions are, what should I do if the work is too much, too little, too hard or too easy? What should you do if you don't have access to a device or internet? Or what should you do if you're worried or concerned about anything? So just like last lockdown, last week we received lots of contact from you, and it's always lovely to hear from you. Some of you saying, I can't keep up, there's too much. Some of you saying, I've done it all and there's not enough. Some of you unsure about things, saying it's too hard or too easy. In the first instance, you should contact your class teacher for that subject. If you're worried about a number of subjects, then you can contact your head of year, or you can call the school, or you can email the school using office@woodmansterne.london. I love receiving emails from you personally, but it's unlikely I'll be able to get back to you quickly, so it's much better to contact your class teacher or your head of year if you've got any problems or any questions about the work. There's extension work provided for the core subjects, so if you do finish early, you should know what to do. And again, if you're not sure what that extension work is, please contact your head of year or your maths or English teachers, and they will give you some information about that extension work that's provided. If you don't have access to a device or to the internet, that's really important we know that, because we can help you. So please ask your parents to call the school and somebody will call them back, and we will do our best to help you. So that's if you don't have a device, or maybe you've got very poor internet at home. Please contact the school on the number that's on the screen right now. You will also have a live tutor time every Friday at 9 a.m. and a weekly call from an adult. The purpose of those live sessions, we know that the biggest benefit of having live lessons is just that interaction and you being able to hear each other, and not necessarily see each other if your cameras are off, but certainly to hear each other. But as I said, if you're worried about anything, maybe you don't want to say that in a live lesson, you probably want to email that individually or let somebody know when you have your weekly call. So there are many ways you can contact us: via Teams, via email, or via phone, or via your live weekly tutor session. And then there's these general questions that I'm getting. So the first and the most common question I'm getting from you is, when can you come back to school? We all feel like that. So the government tell us when they think it is safe for schools to fully open again. At the moment, they are suggesting the date will be after half term, but we know this could change. We often get information sometimes as late as the night before something is due to change. We will always keep you updated, and what we know, we will share with you, anything we know for certain. So we know you won't be back this half term. We hope you will be back straight after, and if it's going to be any different to that, we will let you know as soon as we know. The other question that we've had is about COVID testing. So staff have been working hard this week to train up on COVID testing. So when you come back, we will be offering a weekly COVID test to all of you. But you will only be tested if you want to be and if your parents give consent. Nobody will be made to have a test. The reason that we've been asked to do this by the government is to identify people who are what they call asymptomatic, and that means that they are positive but showing no symptoms. So that's the reason for these weekly tests. If you are showing symptoms, or if you are told that you've been in close contact with somebody who has tested positive, or if you do test positive, whether that's through having a test in school or through going for a test outside of school, you will still be required to self-isolate for 10 days. So I hope that has answered your questions, and I'm just put up on the screen here something which I've got on my kitchen wall, and I've also got it on my work wall, and that's something called the Serenity Prayer. And it goes, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. So that's about controlling the controllables. We have to accept that we cannot be in school at the moment. We can't change that. That's not our decision, and we have to accept it. But we have to have the courage to change the things that we can. And the things that you are in control of is how much you engage with the work that you do. We know that organising your own time and working independently will come easier to some of you than it does to others. But we also know that both those skills are really important for secondary pupils, particularly those of you in Key Stage 4, and that if you improve those skills of time management and independent learning, that is only going to benefit you, first of all at school, but also in your home life as well. So do your best, that is all we're asking. Remember to contact us if you've got any worries at all. And we are really enjoying seeing and look forward to seeing more of your fantastic work. Stay safe, everybody. Goodbye.